Hey friends, so we're gonna bake today. I want to do a sweet onion bread, and yeah, so we're going to do that. Got me a new dress, so like dresses, but I want to show you. I got me a clear bowl. Got me a clear bowl. So now you can see more of what I am doing. Let me see if I got that right. Make sure I got it pretty much on the bowl, hopefully. Okay, so first off, to our bowl, we're going to want to add in 2 cups of warm water. I'm opting to do it in the bowl because of room. So yeah, 2 cups of warm water, and that's not hot, just barely warm. And then I want to put in my sugar, which is 1/3 cup of sugar to that. Close up my sugar, don't want it to draw moisture. Okay, get me okay, I just want to kind of stir that a little bit. And I am going to be using this yeast. So, yeah, that kind. I'm just trying to get that dissolved a little bit there. Hope everyone is doing good today. And hope you've had your breakfast, and don't forget your vitamins. I know I've got to remember mine because I'm bad to forget them. Okay. Whoops. There we go. Got that in there. Now we're going to want 1 tablespoon of yeast. Now I'm using old measuring spoons, and they are a little sizey, so don't know if they're any different or not, but 1 tablespoon of yeast. And like I said, I'm using that one. You use whichever one you want to. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a stir there. Just a little something, something. Okay, so I'm gonna let this bloom for about 5 minutes, and then I'll bring you back. Okay, as you can see, it's bloomed nicely now. And okay, like I was saying, you can see we've got it bloom. It's bloomed nicely. In this, in this recipe, you could use sauteed onions. You could use fresh onions. I'm opting to use like the minced dried onion. Now here's the thing, I actually have it already put in here in my bowl, but you see that is from the store. And then I go into a little country store that we have here, and it wasn't in this container. It was in like a square plastic container, bigger than this. It held like this one and another one of these little bottles, and it came from the mason jar. And look how beautiful the color is, compared to what I got from, see here, the grocery store, which was brown. But I'd already had that measured out. So what I'm gonna do is I plan on putting some of this beautiful, really pretty, see how light that is, and it smells wonderful, putting that on the outside of my loaves. I think it'll look really wonderful. But yeah, okay, we've got this in here, and to this we're getting ready to add what I have in this container here, which is 6 cups of bread flour, 1.5 teaspoons of sea salt. You could use regular salt if you don't have sea salt, and you could actually use all-purpose flour if you don't have bread flour, but I like using the bread flour. And then it has 1 tablespoon of onion powder. You can just use whatever type of onion powder. And then 2 tablespoons of dried minced onion. So I like the looks of this, and next time I'm going to just use this in it because I like the looks of it, you know. What I actually got from the store, like I said, is really, it's really dark. Look at that. But yeah, and you could always, you know, dry your own if you wanted to. Okay, before adding in our dry ingredients though, we're going to want to add 1/4 cup of oil. And you can use whatever oil you want to use. I prefer to use olive oil if I have it. But if you don't, you could use vegetable. You could use avocado. You know, it's just up to you. 1/4 cup of oil. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get ready and mix this up. So I've got my dough whisk. You don't have to have one of those. If you don't, that's fine, perfectly fine. But I have got all my ingredients in here. Hopefully I told you. 1½ teaspoons of salt, 6 cups of bread flour, and then my onion powder and my dried minced onion. So go ahead and get that in there, and we're going to incorporate that nicely. But yeah, and you could, you know, you could go as far as you could saute your onions or whatever, like if you were having a dinner or something like that. But I wanted something more, I don't want to say completely shelf stable, because you know them onions do cook somewhat in and rehydrate some, being in, you know, with liquid. So yeah, but at the, oh, it smells good. But at the same time, you know, I think that when you do it, which if I do it with the sauteed onions or the fresh onions, I'm going to do that for like when you think it's going to be eaten, like a dinner or something. And remember, you can always add a little bit more water if you need to, or a little bit more flour. And yeah. Nope, you can't come out, ma'ams. She's in there in the living room in her kennel, but yeah, she can't come out when Mama's baking. Okay. Go in with my hands and get that all mixed up nice. Yeah, look over my hair. I braided it last night before I went to bed, and I did not bother even taking it down. Nope. I just left it up. And I didn't have a red dress, so whenever I got this one, I was tickled. I love the color red. Hopefully this bowl works really well for this. So far, so good. I'm just trying to get it into a ball, get it together. Once I get it together, I'm going to turn it out, and I'm going to turn it out and do it, you know, knead it on my surface. So yeah. Get it together. Won't give me a time though. Okay, I'm gonna get ready and turn this out on my surface, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I got it ready to start kneading. Let me cut my timer on right quick, because I'm gonna need to knead that for about 8 minutes, probably, just to be honest. So, and everybody does not knead the same, so yeah, if I don't do it exactly like you do, that's fine. Just like everybody doesn't do it the way I do it. Boy, it smells good, I know that. And you can see the onions, little dry onion pieces poking through. You can also do this sourdough too. Oops. I need to invest in me another KitchenAid, I guess, or a dough mixer one. But I kind of like kneading too, but it is hard on your wrists if you have like fibromyalgia and stuff, or things, you know, like that wrong with you, or if you had carpal tunnel. And you could always put less onion or onion powder if it's too stout for you, or you could put more if you like it stouter. That's just up to you what you like. And you could always use honey if you didn't want to use sugar. Shucks, you don't have to use any sweetener if you don't want to, but it will affect the flavor. Just like if you don't add salt, it's going to affect the outcome of your flavor, you know, of your bread. But you don't have to use it. You still technically have bread. It just may not taste the same. You know what I mean? I think, honestly, we're about there. Didn't think we would be, but I think we are. Let me see if I can get her in a circle. That onion wants to like rip your dough, those pieces, because they're kind of, the ones that I used from the grocery store are kind of thick and hard. That's why yeah, I'm looking forward to using these the next time. And yeah, look that up. Mason jar is just a little town or little country store, and it's really, they have all kinds of stuff. He has got all sorts of different, like the Bob's Red Meal, he's got all kinds of their stuff. If you bake, oh my goodness, he has got like real vanilla, he's got the different spices. Oh, he's got all kinds of stuff. Honey, he's got the canned foods, he's got the Amish stuff, he's got the whole real milk, you know. It is just unreal. I can't mention all that he has. He's got lots of candies if you like the old-fashioned candy, which I'm on a diet now, so but yeah, a lot of cheeses, a lot of different cheeses. So I think we've got that right. And what I'm gonna do is I think we're ready for that. I got this thing, and I actually like it. It's got olive oil in it, and I just squirt it. It works pretty good. I've seen a different one on TikTok that I wouldn't mind like getting and trying, but that works pretty good. See, it squirts it right out. And then we're gonna put our ball in here like so. Just gonna kind of roll her around because I'm gonna get that olive oil all over it, covering it. And then I'm going to put me a one of the plastic shower caps. Now you can put plastic wrap, you can put a towel, you can put a wet towel, dry towel, however you want to do it. But I'm going to let this rise. I'm going to let it double in size. So that'll take probably about an hour. And if your house is colder, it could take longer. But yeah, let that rise for probably about an hour or so, just according to, like I said, the temperature in your house. It differs for different temperatures. So yeah, I'll bring you back. So yeah, put one of those on there, and I'll stick this in my oven where I've got my oven light on. That's actually where Lavinia is hanging out right now. And I'll let it do its rise, which, like I said, will probably take about an hour. There's our timer going off because we finished our kneading a bit early. You know, it is like 5 to 8 minutes usually. Sometimes 10, it's according. So I finished it probably around over 6 minutes. But yeah, she's hanging out in there. And I'm going to put it into the oven, nice and cozy in there, and get my double rise on it, and then I'll bring you back. But here's this little contraption. You see that? And you mash this, and it actually sprays out the olive oil. So I like it. It's a neat little contraption. It's glass. So yeah. But they have some I saw that were like were a spout, like where it would spray, and then if you lifted something up, it would pour. So I thought that was really neat too. Yeah, but we'll let this rise for about an hour, and then I'll bring you back. I hate to say it, but I think my phone just fouled up on me and didn't get any of what I just did. I punched down the air out of that dough. I split it in half. I'll have to go back to the video and make sure, but I looked and it wasn't recording. So I split those into two because that made 2 loaves. I rolled them into a log shape. Going to put a shower cap on this one. I've got a shower cap on the other one. We'll put them into the oven and we'll let them rise for 30 minutes. Then I'll bring you back and I'll make sure that it is videoing this time for sure. When I say I put them in the oven to rise, that is a cold oven. There's Lavinia. Oh yeah, with just a light on, that's all, just a light on. And you see they're already rising. There's no heat on though, just the light. So yeah, they're doing their thing in there. Still like about 26 minutes. Okay, they've got like 11 minutes left. I'm gonna cut my oven on and let it be preheating. I'm gonna let it preheat to 350. It usually takes mine a little bit longer at that, but you know, cooking it slow and low can be better sometimes. So yeah, but they're rising. They still like about 10-11 minutes there. Look at Lavinia. She bubbly. She bubbly. Okay, I did check back on that video. It did not video any of me rolling it. Just didn't do it. They have rose beautifully. So what I'm gonna do now, as you can see, they look really good. I'm going to brush them with some melted butter. You don't have to brush them with anything. You could use egg wash if you want to. Even water, a little bit of water. If you don't have the egg wash or butter, or a little dab of milk and water, just up to you. But yeah, I'm gonna brush them down really good. They rose beautifully, smell scrumptious. And I have got my oven preheated to 350. So it's ready. It's just waiting on them. Waiting on me to put them in there. I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes. And it usually takes a little bit longer whenever I do it for 30 minutes though, just to be honest. It's according to your oven, how warm your oven gets. Could take a little longer. Now, oh, got that on my hand. Let's see. Okay. I want to put on, like I told you, I want to put some of that the new onion, minced onion that I got. And yeah, that melted butter is going to help that to adhere to the top of my bread. Looks lovely. Let's put a little dab of that across the top. Not too much, just enough to look good and give it more flavor. So now I'll stick these in the oven for, like I said, I'll set the timer for 30 minutes. It may take them 40. I like to check the internal temperature, so I've got a meat thermometer that I will stick in like the side or the end and check the inside temperature. Like I like for mine to be 190. So yeah, we'll get those in the oven now. Here we go. Looks pretty good. It's hot, fresh out of the oven. Ouch. Very hot. Very, very, very hot. And here is our other one. Oh, they look so good. Smell wonderful. They smell good, really good. So, but they're red hot. And yeah, so there they are. I'm going to put these on the cooling rack. I'm going to brush them with butter, melted butter. And yeah, they smell good though. I don't know if I'll be cutting them or not because I may be giving them away. I'm not sure. If I do decide to cut one, I'll come back and show you the inside and what it looks like. Okay, it's cooling. And as you can see, I lost most of those onions because I didn't do it like I normally would. Normally, what I would do is I would not put those onions on right before I put it in to bake. But I wasn't thinking. Normally, what I would do is I would pull out the bread, maybe 5 to 10 minutes before it's done, and brush it down with the butter then, and then put some on so that they don't get burn up, they don't get brown, because they'll just fall off, and that's what's happened. Onion bread, yeah, because it can be sliced. Okay, now let's see how I'm gonna do this. I guess push it back there. Let's see, that's the end, so we want to go, that would take off that end. That'd be too thick. Let's take off this little end right here because it just looks a little wonky. Okay, we got it. Okay, that little end. Now, about right there. That looks about right, don't it? My knife might be a little too short, but okay. I think that, let's see how thick this. Oh, it looks good.